Welcome everyone, AdamTheWoo here. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's the Daily Woo 2015 year-end review. And I toast you, not with alcohol, but with a soda, a caffeinated beverage on this, the final and last day of 2015. And I hope your year was very prosperous and very blessing-induced, and is that even a terminology? Blessing-induced? I would like to give my wrap-up 2015. Today is a historic occasion on a few different angles, because on this day, 6 years ago, I actually put up my first adventure channel video. What does that mean exactly? Well, on YouTube/AdamTheWoo, I do adventure videos that I'm sure most of the people watching these vlogs have probably stumbled on or seen over the years. The very first one I ever did was on December 31st, which is today, in 2009. And while I did not officially become a full-time, quote-unquote, YouTuber until late 2011, today is the historic anniversary of my very first adventure video. You can actually go over to YouTube/AdamTheWoo and look for that. You can actually look at the top viewed videos, but you can also go to a graph and pull down oldest video to newest video. And if you don't want to go through all that rigmarole, you can just type in AdamTheWoo Sugar Mill, and you will actually see the very first video I ever did six years ago. People say, you've been doing videos 6 years? Yes and no. The first year and a half were a little slow going because I was still working a job. But in late 2011, I quit my job, moved into my van, traveled around the country for quite some time. And that is when I technically like to say I started doing videos. Anyway, I digress from that anniversary day and actually talk about another anniversary, which actually happened 1 year ago today. 1 year ago from right now is when I arrived in California with no vision and no thought process of actually moving here. I was originally just going to come out here and visit for the third or fourth time in my life, sleeping in my van, traveling around, sometimes getting hotels, sometimes sleeping on couches of friends and people who watch my videos. And I decided, let me actually plant some roots in Southern California. And I actually did not do that until February of this year, 2015. But the day I arrived was this day, New Year's Eve. I drove from Florida on the 28th of December, just a couple short days ago, drove completely across the country in a matter of 2 to 3 days, and arrived in time for fireworks, the New Year's Eve celebration fireworks at Disneyland. And I stood on that very packed Main Street and watched the fireworks. I've not decided what I'm going to do tonight. I might actually do that again if the park has not hit capacity. I might venture down there and actually watch the fireworks above the castle and celebrate 2015 ending into 2016. What a heck of a year it has been. What a wonderful and blissful and prosperous and happy for the heart year that I have had. It's pretty amazing the way life works. It's pretty amazing that this YouTube thing has come into my world and fallen into my lap, I guess you could say. Well, not really. I guess I went out and searched for it. And it's interesting because of this this 6-year anniversary of my very first AdamTheWoo video on the AdamTheWoo channel. It got me thinking about how I started doing videos, and my whole philosophy was, let me go to locations that will have people either Google searching. That's a very loud noise. That's a very loud truck. That is a very loud truck. I don't know if trucks are allowed to be that loud in 2016. That truck only has 1 day of allowedness to be that loud. That does not make any sense. Why did I start doing videos, and why did I start doing adventure videos? It's because I wanted people who did not know who I was. No one is going to search for me. No one's going to search I want to look up a guy that's being goofy and making really horrible jokes at an abandoned place. What they're going to search is, they're going to look up a location, either a theme park, or they're going to look up an abandoned spot, or they're going to look up something of interest, and I'm going to be in the video. Now, this is a very foreign and a very unusual way of thinking back then. By today's standards, everyone on YouTube is kind of doing that same philosophy. But I don't think there were a lot of people doing it that way back then. People were doing vlogs, there were daily vloggers, but no one was really going to abandoned places and theme parks and doing that kind of thing. So I thought this is kind of a clever twist on what I wanted to be doing, which was like comedy videos and stuff like that in the beginning, but who is going to watch that because no one knows who I am? So my philosophy was put myself in front of the camera and people will say, gosh, this guy's really annoying, this guy's really irritating, this guy is not attractive to our eyes, so you might have said. But over time, I started to slowly grow on people. You started to know or like or dislike either my personality or how I did the videos. And slowly, the places I went became less and less important, and I became more of the focal point of the video. And that was my whole philosophy. And 6 years ago was the beginning of that philosophy. And I can safely say today, on the last day of 2015, it has worked out wonderfully. I did not really think it would. I was kind of going on a whim. I was having a little faith in myself, and everything is working out wonderfully. I'm living here in Southern California, filming locations, filming abandoned stuff, filming theme parks. I started a vlog channel about 3.5 years ago. Just think about this vlog channel. Let's not even talk about the anniversaries of the main channel. Let's talk about this channel, which you're watching. Well over almost 3.5 years. In July of this year, of 2012, next year, technically tomorrow is next year, which I know probably the most famous joke you're going to hear today is, see you next year, buddy. See you next year. Hey, buddy. See you next year. It's probably the most cliche joke to use on New Year's Eve. But what was I talking about? Oh yes, the anniversary of TheDailyWoo, which will happen starting tomorrow, will be next year in 2016. In July, early July, will be 4 years of that. And good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I will be around to celebrate that 4-year anniversary. And it's amazing what that original AdamTheWoo channel spawned off into. It's just amazing to have you guys in my life. I really cannot express enough the love I have for the positivity and the support that everyone shows me, has shown me, and continues to show me. And it's always progressing. New people are finding these vlogs. New people are finding the other channel. People that never knew I existed and the videos I did existed. And that is a wonderful thing about the internet. I've said this a million times. The internet is full of evil and harm and a lot of bad things. But I think we have proven all together that this is the good side of the interwebs. The internet is good for a lot of positive, happy, wonderful things. And I really want to say thank you for that here at the end of 2015 into 2016. What does 2016 have in store for me? Pretty much a lot of more of the same, but more on an enhanced level. A lot of people, they will say, why don't you do more of these type of videos? Why don't you do more of these type of videos? And 2015 was kind of not a rough year for me, but a year filled with debt and credit card accumulation, moving and renting a place and getting furniture, and my roommates leaving and things like that. Unforeseen circumstances really set me back money-wise, as traveling as much as I wanted to. And it is nice to sleep in the van, travel in the van, live in the van, and travel the country. But because I now have a residence here in Southern California, I have to take it a little bit with a grain of salt. And basically, instead of driving across the country, since I'm paying rent here, I have to fly places so I can come back and at least utilize. In living in Southern California is not as cheap as other areas, and I understand that. However, because even though the rent is a little bit more, there are way more things to film, like the filming locations, which I hope you guys enjoy the filming locations, because there are a lot of those in the brain, scheduled and written down in my Go Out and Do It notebook for 2016. Which also, spoiler alert, 2016, there will be a lot of movie locations. As you guys watch the Halloween filming locations video, if you like that, you will be getting more of that type of videos on the AdamTheWoo channel over the next year. In fact, a lot of content will be movie locations, and I have a few abandoned locations coming up as well. In fact, I just put up a couple of abandoned videos recently as well. I will be tapering back a little bit on the main channel and vlog Disney videos. There's so much more stuff out there to film. I love Disney. I still go to Disney. I still have my annual pass, but I'm going to taper back the vlogs and taper back the main channel videos over at theme parks and Disney World and Disneyland. They will still exist, but on a smaller scale, so I can focus on the abandoned places and on the filming locations. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions. Everyone has resolutions. What are you going to do? What are you going to change? I am not going to profess any major, profound changes that I will making. I am going to try to eat a little bit better than I have been. Try to lose a little bit of weight. No exorbitant, crazy crash diets like I did last year, if you remember some of the vlogs and some of the crazy things I was doing. I just want to try to taper back a little bit of what I've been eating. Maybe drink a little bit less soda, maybe drink a little bit less coffee, a little bit less of the bad, fast foody type things, which ironically, moving to California, I have not ate as much fast food as I did when I was traveling, because California is a mecca of good food. I very rarely eat at like a Burger King or a Taco Bell or a McDonald's. I used to live on those types of places. But there is every possible delicatessen dish of goodness out here in Southern California, so you really don't have to go to fast food as much, which is actually kind of nice. Also, I'm going to be tapering back on social media a little bit. I am not going to be bombarding Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I still will read what people will post, but I'm not going to be replying quite as much or constantly updating what I am doing, what I have done in the last hour, things like that. I'm going to try to focus more on going out and filming videos. I started to think of the time spent on social media. Now, I'm not going to go on a social media hiatus. I'm not going to delete my accounts. I mentioned that last year. I'm not going to do that in 2016, but I will be tapering it back. I will not be posting these vlogs on social media anymore. I will not be posting this on Facebook anymore. So if you have subscribed to the AdamTheWoo channel and this channel, you are one of the lucky few who are going to get that notification summoning you that AdamTheWoo, me, has either a new vlog or a new main channel. I will keep it off social media and just use social media for important things, or if things arise later in the day, I will be using Periscope and things like that. But that is one of my New Year's resolutions, to chill out, that's right, chill out a little bit on social media. Just kind of calm it down just a little bit. That's about it. That's all I can think of. New Year's resolutions. It's going to be a good year. 2015 was a crossover year from me. Getting out of the van, getting a place, going from the East Coast, which is what I was familiar with, being a Florida boy, born in Mississippi, living on the East Coast and then living in Florida for over 2 decades. It tried quite the transition of being here in California. But I have gotten my feet wet. My feet are now planted and they are starting to become rooted in the Southern California soil, if you will. In 2016, I'm looking forward to a lot of good things on the horizon. Thanks for joining me every day. I say it a million times. I know it's annoying. I know it's irritating to hear. It's irritating for me to say over and over and over, because I think to myself, people are probably seriously, obnoxiously annoyed with how many times I tell them that I appreciate it and that I love them. But it's true. I could not do all this without you guys watching these vlogs. If no one was watching, I probably would not do them as often. I'd probably still do them to have a diary, but I don't know if I would do them every day. I do not know if I would have the desire or the passion to get up and go out and film things if no one else was interested. So thank you for being interested. I am blessed. I'm very humbled to have you as a part of my life. I'm going to finish this soda, sit here, chomp on this ice next to the Christmas tree. Oh man, that's cold. I feel like I'm getting a brain freeze now from that ice. I'll see you guys I don't mean to be cliche, but honestly, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do, sir? Ma'am? Children? I'll see you next year.